Someone needs to help Marvel urgently, because either they're doing this on purpose or there's just way too much leaking right now. I need to start with a few updates about what's been coming out about Spider-Man Brand New Day. After Deadline dropped a bomb yesterday saying that the actress Sadie Sink would also be tied into Secret Wars, everything we thought we knew about her character through rumors and supposed leaks kinda got thrown into question. Now it even seems like more people are believing she might be Mayday Parker. Not just Tobey Maguire's daughter, but a version of Spider-Man. Or better, Spider-Woman. Even more now that Tobey Maguire is very likely to appear in Avengers Doomsday. And we can pretty much be sure of that because of some behind-the-scenes photos that came out showing him in makeup and everything. So if Tobey is going to show up more or less normal, it was easy to assume his daughter would also have some kind of role in this whole story. But this scooper here, Script X Quality, said the following: "I already gave you the hint, and even if it's not that, look at the next best alternative for a major villain. With that actress, Sony has their multiversal link." What he's saying is this leaker already has some weight out there. He's not the most respected or most reliable of all of them, but he's gotten a lot of things right in the past, especially related to trailers and that kind of stuff. The hint he'd given was that she would be a multiversal villain, and that connects to a bunch of things I've already brought here on the channel about this character. As reported by this site here, she's supposedly close to being confirmed as the villain Shathra. And that takes us to MIT, which is where Zendaya, who plays MJ, and Jacob Batalon, who plays Ned Leeds, went. In this supposed plot, the villain would be using a human body as a kind of multiversal anchor, so she can stay in that reality. She wants access to the experiments they're doing there at MIT. I remember that the first time I talked about this alleged leak here on the channel, when this was being reported, I found the amount of involvement from MIT in the story really strange. However, Shathra showing up as the big villain is not that wild at all. In fact, it sounds very possible to me, especially because we're still in the multiverse saga. And we've already got a huge number of scoopers saying that the actress is going to play a villain in the movie anyway. And you know what else makes all of this even more interesting? The importance of MIT to the story of the next Spider-Man movie. Let's go back to this article from the Cosmic Circus because I know there's a lot in there. That's why I broke it down and separated some of the information for different videos. Here, Charles Murphy, and this guy really is respected, he's got a lot of credibility, talked a bit about Spider-Man. Let's go over some of the things he said about the next movie. First, he says there will be a female villain in the next Spider-Man film. Hold up, is it just me, or are the pieces starting to line up? He also answered a question about MIT's role in the movie. For those who don't know, MIT is the super prestigious Massachusetts Institute of Technology. In theory, Spider-Man is not studying there because at the end of No Way Home, he had to get his GED after all his school records were erased. And the new movie is going to take place entirely in New York, at least according to the filming locations. Anyway, when he talked about MIT in the next movie, the journalist said MIT is evil, malevolent, villainous. He also said Zendaya's MJ is going to have an important role in the story. She's not just making a special cameo like we thought. And MIT is going to be important too because it'll be a key piece in the story on the darker side of things. Look, one of the things we kept asking was, where is Scorpion going to get the tech for his iconic comic book suit and everything else? Well, what if MIT is involved with all of these villains that are going to show up in the movie? All I can say is this is getting more and more insane. And that's before we even touch the most hardcore leaks that have come out for Avengers Doomsday. But before I go on, hit the like button on this video to help out. Subscribe to the channel too. I really need your support right now. That way you can stay right here with me, following and discussing all the latest superhero news. Already subscribed? Straight from Entertainment Tonight, Josh Brolin, the actor who plays Thanos, talked about a possible return as Thanos in upcoming Avengers movies. He said something along the lines of, "If Joe or Anthony Russo come talk to me, I don't know what they might want to do, but if they have an idea, I could probably say yes pretty fast." In other words, he left the door wide open, and the line of communication between him and the directors, the Russo brothers, is more than clear, and he is interested in coming back. Some of the wildest theories for the next Avengers movies involve a new version of Thanos showing up. This new Thanos could even be on Doctor Doom's side at some point. Then the heroes would have to face both Thanos again and Doctor Doom. Or since we're apparently going to see universal-level devastation in the next movie, why not have Doctor Doom pass through a universe where there's another Thanos and destroy that entire universe, for example? According to rumors, Tobey Maguire's appearance in the movie is going to be like this. His universe will be visited because it's in the middle of being destroyed. And that kind of narrative is the perfect tool for Marvel to do every kind of epic scene with special appearances, returning characters, old actors coming back, and all that. Marvel, seriously, I'm talking to you, looking you in the eye. Don't let me down.
If you thought it was good so far, now it gets insane. High-resolution images started leaking of the characters' looks, and here they are. Reed Richards with his little white jacket, and you think, okay, nothing special, it looks like the same suit he used in Fantastic Four First Steps. Calm down. Remember those photos a makeup artist accidentally leaked because there were some characters embroidered on her bag? Well, look here, Mr. Fantastic up here. Is that or is that not the blue uniform with a white jacket over it? Exactly that jacket, which means this is possibly the first real photo of Mr. Fantastic in the next Avengers movie. And that's why I'm saying, someone help Marvel. Unless they're doing this entirely on purpose, I don't know. Normally, I didn't really buy into this kind of conspiracy theory, but lately it's getting hard to doubt, and it's going to get even harder now. Check out this look, this visual for the new Avengers movie. Look at this. Loki is wearing that green cloak-style outfit and darker horns, really similar to how he appears at the very end of Loki Season 2, which I always say is my favorite Disney Plus series, Marvel or Star Wars or anything. Out of all the Disney Plus shows, Loki is my favorite. But in this image, we can see his horns look smaller and more polished, let's say, so it's a kind of natural evolution of the look he had at the end of Season 2. Once again, this is the first image of a character for the next Avengers movie. And it's not just him. Doctor Strange also looks very similar, he just doesn't have the third eye, but the outfit is basically what he wore at the end of Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. Slide over and there's Shang-Chi, the great Simu Liu who plays Shang-Chi. You can see his suit is a bit darker, his hair is a little different, but it's him, no doubt, with an updated look. And Captain Marvel is also there, with a look that's very similar to her last appearances, but definitely not the same costume from the Marvels. Look here. So she did change uniforms, but kept a similar haircut. And to see how curious this is, along with the photo of all the actors, Kevin Feige also wanted to take a picture. Looking at this, it really feels like the kind of photo that's going to end up on a poster eventually, doesn't it? These would be the character posters, exactly like we saw for Avengers Endgame. Back then, almost every character had a big close-up headshot with a little tagline. Are they preparing that for us again for Avengers Doomsday? They put all the actors together to shoot the character posters, and what leaked was the original group photo they're going to use to design those posters. Now look at this. Kevin Feige probably is not going to have a poster like that, but he still wanted to get in the shot. And check out his cap, that green Avengers A. Avengers were coming. And he's wearing a brand new Avengers Doomsday hat that he hadn't used before. It's insane to realize that even unfinished poster material is leaking now. Then I came across this really cool news from the Brazilian site Legado da Marvel. They put the puzzle pieces together and figured out what the first official Avengers Doomsday poster will probably look like. Their guess is that before we get those traditional posters with the characters' faces using these photos and everything, we'll get a teaser poster like this, just the Avengers logo, the word Doomsday, and the release year, 2026. Why did they come to that conclusion? Because that's exactly what they did with every single Avengers movie. The first Avengers in 2012, Age of Ultron in 2015, Infinity War in 2018, and Endgame in 2019. Look, I'm convinced. Now, I also believe the first poster is going to be just the letter A, but it won't take long for them to release the poster with the characters like this. Now, the nice surprise is that Doctor Strange did not have his name printed on any chair in that infamous Marvel Chair Live set. So in theory, up to now, he wasn't officially confirmed for the movie. But after an image like this, there's no way to deny that Benedict Cumberbatch, it's right there. The secret phrase for today's video is leaked poster. Comment leaked posters so I know you watched all the way to the end. On the side here, you've got other videos ready for you to watch. Thank you so much for your amazing company, and I'll see you next time.